I am sure that many of you feel about 2024 the way that I do, that it has been the worst year in the world in my lifetime, not only because we have witnessed the most and continue to bear witness to the most televised genocide in our history, but because of the level of dehumanization that the Palestinians have experienced, to the extent that saying Palestine or Palestinian or Gaza in itself is considered a controversial act, which is insanity. Not only that, but we have got to see the total exposure of the rot within our system, the complicity of the media and our governments in what is taking place, and the failure of the institutions that we were told were there to protect us to intervene in any meaningful way. And of course, Palestine is not the only issue, as horrific as it is. We have Sudan, Congo, and further afield. We have really come, and I see this probably as being the strength, at least if there is any nugget in the horror of the last 14 months, but we have come to understand more about the monsters that rule us, who and what they are. And as we now prepare to enter 2025, my thoughts around this, and I don't have any solutions, are that we refuse to allow these things to become normalized. And that takes courage, and we need to find ways of resourcing us. For me, that's going into nature. But I also think it's about building community. I really believe that what we need to be doing is to role model the world we want, but to be brave enough to imagine that we can create a better, a kinder world. And that happens because every idea or everything that comes into existence starts with an idea and imagining in the mind. And then it's about taking steps to bring it about. So I think the antidote to what we are seeing, along with standing our ground, is to really reach out to others, to build that community, to role model what it is that we want, that world built on love, compassion, kindness, and really help people to understand that we all benefit from a fairer, kinder world, and to recognise that the ruling classes have been using divide and conquer for so long by getting us to squabble and argue about things that really, in the scheme of things, are not significant. And they do it so that we don't recognise who our real enemies are. So I think that this is really important, that we develop our emotional intelligence and reach out to one another and realise that there are things we're going to disagree with each other on, and that's okay. But those fundamental things we must all agree on, which is the right to live with freedom, justice, equality, and to have a life of dignity, that we all have the right to have a home and to be fed and to feel safe. But there are things we will disagree on, and as I said, to understand that that is okay, that we don't thought police people. So I guess that that's a message I want to share as an insignificant human as we enter 2025, is to reach out to others, to recognise that we are in this all together, that whether we like it or not, as I always say, our futures and lives are inextricably linked, for good or for bad. So let's take every step we can now to bring about a kinder world that nobody loses in, and to recognise and no longer be divided by the monsters who seek to build their grotesque palaces on the backs of broken bodies and minds and communities. So I don't know if what I say helps or means anything, but I feel like I need to do something. And if we all do something, we can achieve something amazing and beautiful. So thank you for listening. And as always, Free Palestine.